It's my great pleasure to be here. Guten Tag, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm so late arrival because of the difficult EUS-GG case. Very difficult, but finally, so I succeed this procedure. I'm very happy, and I guess patient happy. Okay, let's get started. I might talk on the ERCP versus EUS-guided biliary drainage. Which one is better? Next. So nowadays, there are several non-surgical biliary drainage, namely the percutaneous transhepatic and endoscopic transpapillary by ERCP and the endoscopic transmural by EUS. So which is better? And in terms of the EUS-BD, so there are two access routes. One is transduodenal, mainly the choledochoduodenostomy, EUS-guided CDS, and the hepatocogastro, EUS-guided HGS. Which one is better, do you think? I love both. And in terms of RCT, CDS versus HGS showed the similar outcome and the similar adverse events. So no statistical significant difference. I agree with this outcome. So by the way, how is the indication? What is the indication of EUS-BD? I guess mostly the failed biliary cannulation cases by ERCP. And also inaccessible papilla or anosmotic site by ERCP, for example, gastric outlet obstruction or Roux-en-Y gastric bypass or the WEPO, even WEPO patient. Anyway, so mostly we are doing the EUS-BD in case of failed ERCP cases. The unanswered question, which is better? As a first line biliary drainage technique, ERCP or EUS-BD. There are several pros and cons in this field. ERCP showed mostly the established procedure and many devices is present, and many as well as many skilled endoscopists, ERCP endoscopists. However, in terms of EUS-BD, basically less skilled endoscopists, and but possible so no post-ERCP pancreatitis comparing to the ERCP PEP. So here you can see a non-retrospective RCT retrospective study, EUS-BD versus ERCP-BD. So 5 years back, our center and the Indian High Volume Center. And as a result, EUS-BD was performed in failed ERCP cases. And this paper showed no significant difference. After that, last year from Japan, one paper published a prospective multi-center study, a primary EUS-BD choledochoduodenostomy. In terms of choledochoduodenostomy versus ERCP, basically no obvious difference. But the procedure time, the EUS-BD is shorter than ERCP-BD. I agree, but in some part I disagree. Even for us, the ERCP-BD, ERCP biliary drainage may be less than 20 minutes or even 30 minutes using a pre-cutting. That's why, so basically, the procedure time is similar in my unit. Anyway, so surprisingly, the only 2 years, 2018 to 2019, only 2 years, there are a lot of evidence, high evidence papers, 3 RCT and 6 systematic review or meta-analysis. Looking at 3 RCT, as you know, already it's one by one check. This is from Rob Holt's group, Florida Hospital. This is a very nice first paper on this topic. The results, the paper shows the EUS-BD was similar to ERCP-BD. And the next paper from Korea, ES-CDS versus ERCP-BD, also similar outcome. And the final RCT is also from Korea. The EUS-BD, including not only cholelocholinostomy CDS, but also hepatico-gastro. And the totally is EUS-BD versus ERCP-BD, also similar outcome, and very interesting. But in the part, for example, clinical success, stent patency, adverse event, reintervention, QOL, the EUS-BD group is superior to ERCP. I'm not sure these results, and interestingly, after that, Professor Lepici asked the question to as a letter to editor. They said, even the EUS-BD has the potential to be considered as an alternative to ERCP. Further knowledge is needed to definitively confirm its safety profile. I agree. Also, this is a very big point. The results of current study contribute to the knowledge. We believe that the difference in rate of adverse event is overrated. Exactly, in my unit, same. Not so many adverse events in ERCP cases. That's why, so it depends on the scale of ERCP technique. One of the balance is a very important thing. So in summary, of RCT, ERCP versus EUS-BD, you can see mostly is similar, but so in some PEP, in terms of the PEP, post-ERCP, post-US-BD pancreatitis, I guess better than ERCP-BD. Of course, theoretically, there's no post-US-BD pancreatitis. So looking at the systematic review 6, 5 of 6 summaries meta-analysis I showed you. Here you can see, interestingly, almost technical and clinical success is not significant difference. And also, as well, the overall adverse event rate same. Only the PEP US is superior. And the intervention rate, also the 2 meta-analysis systematic review, they mentioned EUS-BD is superior to ERCP. It is very interesting, the outcome. So as well on this, the results and the very skilled endosonographer in the world, West and East, the expertise of the US showed the consensus guideline of these topics. And the EUS-BD, maybe it is a one landmark paper, but interestingly, after that, another expertise of US guides advocates this issue. And I mean that the previous GATT paper is not really. So I some part I agree. Because they mentioned the EUS-BD is not yet perceived as the initial procedure to relieve the unresectable malignant biliary obstruction. And the various BD method, this is big point. Various ES-BD methods were regarded as having different efficacy and safety. I mean, one of reason, I think CDS versus HGS is a similar outcome by several papers. But it depends on the endosonographer. In some endosonographer prefer the CDS, but another endosonographer prefers HGS, and the experience CDS are few. That's why, so it depends on the endoscopher preference and the biliary access route. That's why we can we want to say our gut paper is correct. I don't say anymore. But interestingly, how many cases, failed ERCP cases, if we use USBD in case of failed ERCP cases. So let's see, this is very interesting multi-center large-scale analysis showed failed cases 90%, 90%. I think a little bit huge, large percent. You can see this is a Florida hospital. Their group shows only failed conversion rate 1.7%. I totally agree. After this, same years, we also published a paper. A year, 11 per more than 600 cases. I mean, 1.8% only failed cannulation. That's why, so it is very important since ERCP, we should learn a skilled ERCP technique, and furthermore, if necessary, USBD. Next is much better because of the transluminal, interluminal access. Anyway, so can we replace with USBD routine ERCP? I want to say still no. First ERCP first. I'd like to say, and but only in case of a difficult ERCP from the beginning, for example, a gastric obstruction case or surgical altered anatomy cases. In such cases, I agree from the beginning, first line, USBD. Actually, in terms of surgical altered anatomy cases, USBD is much better, but only drainage. In case of stone cases, stone removal case, we need still ERCP, the technique. Also, my junior published a paper. Nowadays, there are a lot of the reports in terms of this topic, surgical altered anatomy, USBD. So I think as a first line therapy, USBD requires three things: anatomically similar targeted bile duct. Maybe the stable bile duct is necessary, always stable. I mean, for example, choledochodiureostomy route is relatively stable comparing to the hepatico-gastro intrahepatic bile duct. And the sophisticated device is mandatory. In the uncomplicated technique like hot axios or hot lumen approaching metal stent, one step is much better. That's why, so yesterday I said only EUS-guided choledochodiureostomy for distal malignant biliary obstruction, and the USBD is, I think, acceptable, even in unskilled, not non-skilled ERCP, the ERCP endoscopies. Already, there's a lot of paper in terms of this USBD using a lumen approaching metal stent, and the outcome is very nice. Also, a long-term outcome. Also, we published paper 2 years back, and relatively so nice. That's why. So, if in case of even if temporary biliary drainage, this technique is very nice because the target of the common bile duct is huge comparing to the other intrahepatic bile duct, HGS or not. More than 2 cm or is very easy. This is let's skip. And also, Professor Lepici mentioned the possibility of this lumen approaching metal stent for the malignant biliary obstruction. And furthermore, this is a very nicely prospective study, a conventional tubular metal stent versus US choledochodiureostomy using LAMS. we'll see in near future. But there's some limitations. There's a few expertise, US expertise comparing to the ERCP, not mature at this moment. And the complicated strategy due to the barriers, biliary abstraction, for example, the high-level abstraction sometimes very difficult to do EUS-BD, or we have to several strategy we should have. For example, PTBD or EUS-BD combination, and the ERCP as well, combination. And the most important thing is a few dedicated devices now. That's why, so next time, to the new horizon, we need a dedicated device in this field. So, ladies and gentlemen, in my conclusion, the outcome of EUS-BD is similar regarding a part of adverse event better than the ERCP-BD as first-line treatment. However, it is very, very limited only in the unit in which ERCP expertise is present. But USCD, ES, cholecystectomy with coatal-enhanced lumps may be possible first line so far. Thank you for your kind attention. Thank you.